Enjoying lockdown with the very fine weather. Huh?
That's where our university
So,
is.
so
That's
what's
so,
okay? Okay, your global university is in Himachal.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Solar,
So
yeah, solar.
very
Solar.
close to Solar. Right. So it's 9:30, Vivek. If you allow me, we will start in another 30 seconds. I think we have around 40 teachers already with us, and they'll keep joining.
Sure.
So, as promised, let's start on time.
Yeah.
So 30 more seconds, and I'll start. Okay.
So, shall I introduce?
Ma'am, I will get you in. So give me half a minute. Okay. So good morning, teachers. Good morning, Nana ma'am, Deepti ma'am. Good morning, Vivek.
Good morning.
I welcome you all to Ideas at Work, a series of webinars by Shoolini University, Kasoli Hills. As a quick background, my name is Atul Khosla. I am the founder and Pro-Vice Chancellor of Shoolini. I'm a BTech from IIT Kanpur and then spent 20 years after my MBA in the industry, 7 different countries, 35 different cities across the world. Somewhere around that point of time, we thought about creating a world-class university. And we started building that 10 years back at Shoolini, Solon. And that's the passion that we have, and we'll be talking a bit more about Shoolini as we get into the talk, but that's not the idea today. The idea is to take you through the journey of emotional intelligence, EQ, and who better than Vivek Atray to do that? Vivek is a very dear friend, a visiting professor at Shoolini University, an advisor to us, an ex-IAS officer, a TEDx speaker, author, and much, much more. So I think with this introduction, I'll request Nana ma'am to please address her teachers, and we'll then get Vivek into the discussion. The format will be around 35 minutes of presentation by Vivek and me, and we will then request all of you to please ask as many questions as you feel like. Today is your time to ask questions, not to answer. Ma'am, Nana ma'am, over to you.
On behalf of Dal Singh Public School, I welcome and give warm greeting to both the speakers. We are grateful that your presence among us today will uplift our intelligence. This is the most important topic these days, that is the emotional intelligence. How can we maintain, how can we stabilize ourselves? This is the main thing. Even though we are intelligent, we are at a great height, but if we are not emotionally fit, then means something is lacking in us. So you are going to enlighten.
We lost Nana ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nana ma'am. Truly appreciate. I think with this, we'll get into the webinar. Vivek, over to you. And like I said, we'll be playing a few videos, a couple of videos in between, and I'll try to get in with my views. But Vivek is going to be the host of the day. Over to you, Vivek.
Thank you very much, Atul, and pleasure to see that you are as bright and cheerful as ever. And so is nice to see Nana ma'am and Deepti ma'am.
I think before you start, Vivek, I'll request all the panelists who are there to please stop their videos so that we can see Vivek on the full screen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Kamal and Shikha and the entire team for putting this together. We are also joined by Vinita ma'am. Thank you very much for joining. All the teachers who are participating in this webinar, welcome to the webinar. And thank you, Shoolini University, Atul Khosla, for organizing these webinars, because I think it's very important at this time to keep talking and communicating. And since we are talking of topics such as emotional intelligence and leadership and people skills and public speaking skills, wonderful topics to talk about, especially when people are feeling a little threatened and worried and scared. So this webinar is in English. I know Karnal and Panipat pretty well, and I know that the majority of people speak Hindi, and that's fine. But I will speak in very clear English, and I'm sure you can ask questions at the end, even in Hindi or whatever it is. Now, I would like to just say a few things before starting. Firstly, I resigned from the IAS 2.5 years ago. I have been Deputy Commissioner of Panchkula. I've been Director Industries. of Haryana and Director IT of Chandigarh, among other things. But my passion now lies in motivational speaking. I am a motivational speaker. I speak all over India and I go wherever I feel it is important to speak when lockdown is not there. And I am a visiting professor and advisor with Shoolini University. So I go there regularly and I speak to the students there, very bright students, in the various programs that they have. They have something called Sprint, which is a wonderful, innovative idea to accelerate the development of the students. So teachers, I'm addressing you today on emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is something that all of us have, but we need to know about it and we need to talk about it. So firstly, I must say that the first thing is that all of us are intelligent. You would not be teachers if you were not intelligent, because you have to be intelligent in order to impart that knowledge and information to the students. And all of you have that intelligence. The students also have basic intelligence. There is very little difference in basic intelligence among two people. Most people in India, I must say, are quite bright. And there are some countries where people are known to have lower IQ, but Indians have high IQ and very sharp in their work, in their dealings, in their calculations, in their day-to-day business. But emotional intelligence, as you can see, is something to do with emotions also. So emotional intelligence is a superior kind of intelligence, which leads to the right decisions, the right behavior, right conduct, and whatever needs to be done, it leads to that kind of situation. So it is important that you have to understand your own self first. The authority on emotional intelligence is Daniel Goleman. Daniel Goleman has identified various definitions and components of emotional intelligence. We won't go into that. You can see later, you can read about emotional intelligence. It is actually very important to realize, firstly, that you should be aware of yourself. So self-awareness is the first component of emotional intelligence. You have to analyze whether you are an angry kind of person, a calm kind of person, or are you an irritated kind of person, generally irritable, or are you very relaxed? So which kind of person are you? And if you are a little bit in between, then you are normal. Everybody is a little bit irritated at times, little bit calm at times, little bit angry at times, and little bit relaxed at times. But are you mostly angry types, or are you mostly calm? That is something that you need to see. If you are the most angry person in your group, or you are very agitated very easily, you lose your cool, then there is a correction required. So the first thing is self-awareness. If self-awareness is there, that means you are half the battle is won, because you realize that this is your temperament, this is your nature, these are your characteristics, and therefore you will be able to make a change wherever required. So the thing to do once you are self-aware is to introspect. Now, introspection is a very high level activity. Introspection means thinking about yourself very deeply and analyzing. So often what we do, we analyze others. We analyze our spouse, we analyze our children, we analyze our colleagues, our in-laws, our various people in society, neighbors. We keep analyzing our neighbors. He's like that, she's like that, he does this, she does this. They shout so loudly, they keep fighting with each other, they disturb us, they play the music very loudly. So most of the time, human beings are analyzing others. Now, if we turn the spotlight of attention, as Paramahansa Yogananda says, on ourselves, then that spotlight will focus on our own minds. And when we analyze our own minds and introspect, then we will find some plus points, some minus points. If the minus points, for example, are anger, then we need to work on anger. Introspection must be followed by action. Action means that I write down, let's say, 6 things which make me angry. 6 things make me angry, let us say. Out of those 6 things, 2 things may be really important and serious. Somebody is behaving badly with me all the time, at home, at school. So I have a right to be upset, angry to some extent. But out of that 6 items, maybe 4 items are useless. That is, somebody doesn't bring clean water for me, does not clean my table properly, or somebody who is just generally, irritating, or somebody who is always late. Now, these things should not really make us angry. We should not lose our cool over these things. If you are losing your cool, that means you are not in control of what you are saying, what you are thinking. Of course, the mind is the most difficult thing to control. And I must tell you that mind management is something which is almost impossible. Our thoughts will go from here to Chennai to Assam to Gujarat to back to Himachal to Haryana in a trice. Thoughts cannot be controlled easily. So what is the first thing that we need to do in terms of calming ourselves down? Once we have realized that this is my shortcoming, this is my problem, I need to control my anger. Let us say, somebody else may have a problem of telling lies. Somebody else may have a problem of being late all the time or just making excuses all the time. And then somebody else may have a problem of just, taking things casually. So what is our shortcoming? We need to see that, and then we need to correct it. So to do that, the first thing that you can do to control your temperament and your mind is to meditate. And meditation is not a religious thing only. It is also spiritual. And spiritual, it's also practical. It is a very practical step to start meditating in order to get more calmness in the mind. You are all understanding me, I hope. Meditation is something very simple. Meditation doesn't mean prayer. Meditation doesn't mean only prayer. It doesn't mean, pray to God, you say some shlokas, you say some mantras, you read the Gita. That is great. No harm in that. Very good. But after that, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or before that, of meditation. And meditation means watching your breath at times. It means being very, very calm after a lot of exercise. So let us do a short meditation now. Emotional intelligence is linked to meditation. And all of you, please, wherever you are, 70 people I can see on the Zoom, please sit straight and we will do a 1-minute meditation. Please sit straight and just put your hands on the junction between thighs and stomach and just upward. They should be turned upward like this. And you should be facing ahead, chin parallel to the ground, and focus at the point between the eyebrows. When I ask you to close your eyes, after that, just notice your breath. Breath is coming in, breath is going out. Don't control it, just notice it. Now it's coming in, now it's going out. You can say a mantra along with it if you like. Otherwise, you can just notice it. So we'll start meditation. Close your eyes and focus here. Your eyes, while they are closed, focus between the eyebrows, but notice your breath at the same time. Starting now. So I hope everybody started meditating. I'll keep talking a little bit while you are meditating because this is a webinar. We can't be sitting totally quiet for 1 minute. Just notice your breath. Don't control it. Let it come in, out, and notice. As if you are noticing somebody else's breath. Another few seconds we will do this. Try to focus your mind on your breath. Okay, thank you. Maybe that was a little less than 1 minute or whatever it was, but that is enough for now. So what I can tell you is if you do this for 10 to 20 minutes, your breath will become very calm. The flow of breath will become softer and slower. And you will not even after a while, after 7, 8, 10 minutes, you will not even come to know when is your breath coming in and when is it going out. You are so calm. Your body is relaxed and your mind is also quite calm. Although mind may go to various thoughts at the same time. yet your breath becomes very calm. And when your breath becomes calm, the mind also becomes calm. So it is a natural tendency. Many practices, many paths, they give this kind of technique. I follow Yogoda Satsang Society and yssofindia.org. I'll give you the website later. I follow Kriya Yoga. So this is a preliminary technique followed by another technique, another technique. And if you can do this meditation, your emotional intelligence, your calmness, your balance will increase like anything. And the book to follow is Autobiography of a Yogi. That is what I follow. This is a book by Paramahansa Yogananda, very famous book, and everybody knows about it, most people. It will also help you to change your life. It's over to Atul Khosla for showing us a brilliant video of Aman from Shoolini University, and then we'll come back to emotional intelligence. Yes, Atul.
Thank you, Vivek. What a beautiful way to sort of put all these concepts together. We all know that success is driven not just by intelligence, but also by emotional intelligence or EQ. So IQ and EQ together make people successful and happy. One part of EQ is also creativity, and I think Vivek will talk a bit more about that as we get into the lecture. But I'll just introduce the concept of creativity because that's what makes probably ordinary people do extraordinary things. Teamwork, another very important part of that. So I wanted to bring the story of Aman. She's from Punjab, comes from a relatively lesser privileged family, a small village. Was a very ordinary student in her undergrad and postgrad. And then some magic happened, Vivek. In her PhD, she ended up working with a bunch of exceptional people. So she collaborated with them across the world. She also had a great leader. She had a great team. And some magic happened. She ended up discovering a molecule which, when added to water, kills bacteria in water by 99.9%. This basically means that it's a path-breaking discovery. It could change the way the world could drink water. She's won something called the Young Water Fellow Award. It's a UN award where she spent 4 months in Geneva. More than 100,000 researchers across the world participated, and she won this award across the world. She's won a 25 lakh award from Tata Trust, and that's what EQ can do. You know, it can just take you to a different level. I'm going to play this video. I think you're going to see the context when you see the video, how this could really change the world and why I truly believe Aman could actually end up winning the Nobel Prize, Vivek. So give me a second and let me play the video. So Vivek, this is the story of Aman, how she's actually ended up discovering something which is completely out of the world. A very simple idea. Moringa is nothing but drumsticks, and we've been eating drumsticks all our lives. in sambar, and Heshi found something amazing out of drumsticks. Now, this is not the only story, Vivek. There are hundreds of such stories at Shoolini. And how did we make it happen? And I think the word is inspiration, the word is creativity, the word is collaboration. And I think when these come together along with meditation and spirituality, then magic starts happening. So I'd love to tell the students and Vivek that I just got some numbers. Shoolini is now the #1 patent filer in India. Last year, our students filed more than 200 patents. This is way more than the IITs. As an example, IIT Chennai, which is the largest patent filer from the IITs, filed 140 odd patents. And that's, I think, the magic that can happen with EQ. And that's, I think, such a wonderful topic. I think the day that fire in the belly happens and EQ starts coming into the students, magic will happen. And magic can happen in the country also. So these were my thoughts. Over to you, Vivek.
Wonderful thoughts. Atul, congratulations on that landmark. I think it should be promoted and highlighted all over India. Thank you. And so, ladies and gentlemen who are listening from the two schools at Panipat and Karnal, the Al Singh schools, wonderful to have you here once again. And let us continue with our discussion. Atul rightly said that creativity is also a part of emotional intelligence. So a person who is an artist, person who is a musician, sportsman, photographer, writer, all these people, if you see, they have a certain quality which somebody who is not creative may lack. So creativity means that we have something extra in us which makes us want to change, which makes us want to do things differently. So a school teacher like you, who also is a photographer, takes nature photography very seriously, goes into the garden and photographs the flowers and the birds and the butterflies and whatever, has a certain talent. Somebody who is a school teacher and is also playing the mouth organ or the guitar or sitar or something very well, also has an extra talent. So something, if it is a part of your life like that, then your sensitivity, your sensibility, your conduct, your behavior, your demeanor, everything becomes better. Because a person of creativity is a calmer person, thinks a little more positively. Positive thinking is something which we take very lightly. And you know that film No Entry, where he said be positive, the blood group was B positive. So only people with B positive blood group need not be positive. Everybody can be positive. The thing is that being positive is a sign of emotional maturity, of emotional intelligence. There are people who spend most of their time cribbing, complaining. हरियाणा में कहते हैं, I'll say a little Hindi couple of things. हरियाणा में कहते हैं कि सवाल का जवाब जो है वो जवाब नहीं होता, वो सवाल होता है. तो कंडक्टर को आप कहेंगे कि ये बस वहां जाएगी, तो कहेगा पागल है क्या, लिखा नहीं है. Which means that the conductor, it doesn't mean he's a bad person. It means that he speaks like that and he doesn't give a response which seems to be warm. इसका मतलब ये है कि this person who is otherwise very intelligent in his work, he doesn't know how to speak to others. So speaking to others in a manner that is calm, that is cordial, that is pleasant also is important. Some people are very good at heart, but they speak in a rough manner. So that rough tongue or manner of speech doesn't reflect a very positive aura. Positivity and good speech, they go together. If you are feeling positive within, then you will definitely speak well outside also. And one other thing that is very important is not to be suspicious of others. Emotional intelligence means you consider others to be your friends until there is some problem or there is some bad behavior. Then you take a stand. Then you be firm. Then you be strong. Even as a leader in school or an administrator or a teacher, sometimes parents or other colleagues or students may behave wrongly. Then you have to be firm without shouting, without losing your temper or control. So you have to be balanced but firm. Yet, how you speak to others is a great sign of how you are from within. So there are some people who are always bitter, always complaining. ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है, this is not okay, that is not okay. All the time. This lockdown is affecting everybody. Some people are complainers, some people are not complaining. Why? Maybe they have to work more, maybe they have to juggle a lot of things, but some of them are not complaining. And that is because of their attitude. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is attitude. Attitude to life is what really matters. Atul mentioned inspiration and how inspiring it is to see these young students doing so well. All our students have talent. We can make these students inspired. Inspiration will lead them to do great things. Anybody who becomes an Olympic champion, you can say Sakshi Malik, you can say PV Sindhu, 2 Olympic medalists in the Rio Olympics from India, only 2, and both girls. And these 2 Olympic medalists, they must have gone through so many difficulties before they became Olympic champions. In a society like Haryana, it is very difficult for a girl to go out and play. Even today, it becomes difficult. And after all those obstacles, to overcome them and become a champion, it's a great achievement. So despite the problems, when we are thinking strongly, positively, and are inspired, motivation and inspiration are a very big part of emotional intelligence. When you get up in the morning after 15 years of your career, you are now, let's say, 15 years or 20 years as a teacher. And today, if you get up in the morning without that josh, without the enthusiasm, inspiration, motivation, then something is lacking. Because you have been teaching so many years, it doesn't mean that now you have to lack that energy and enthusiasm. You can still have it. Every day is a new day of discovery. Somebody needs to inspire you. And at the end, I'll show you a couple of slides of inspiration. Somebody needs to inspire you. And who is that somebody? It can be Lata Mangeshkar, it can be Alia Bhatt, it can be Virat Kohli, or it can be any young person or old person. It can be your father, grandfather, mother, grandmother, it can be your sister. Even at this age of 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever you are, you need to be inspired. You cannot become just, dull routine in your endeavors. So you have to know that it is inspiration which will make you do better. And why not try to become the best teacher ever? Why not try to become the most pleasant and loved teacher of all time in your school, perhaps? And that is something which you can do if you are working hard, if you are preparing well, if you are pleasant in your conduct, yet people respect you. So they are not taking you lightly. That is a thin line that you have to walk, where people are not taking you lightly, but you are still gentle and pleasant without being rough and tough. So that is a balance that you have to create. It is difficult. We are human beings. All these things that I'm telling you are not easy to do. And all these anger management and being pleasant, being calm and speaking nicely and everything, because pressures are coming. I understand. Pressures are coming from everywhere. So meditation, calmness, and physical exercise, which releases endorphins, which are good hormones for you, and which makes you physically fit and mentally fit also. Very important. And teachers must find time for themselves to meditate, to read, to do their own creative activities in your own life. Be very careful that you find time for yourself also. It is difficult, but you have to find time for yourself. And television soaps will not give you that much of joy as maybe what you really want to do, like maybe music or art or something, craft or whatever you do well. That will give you more joy. So do something that you really feel strongly about, and be creative. So emotional intelligence, to recap, is something which will give you a balanced demeanor, where you will not lose your temper. You will be in control of your speech and your mind and your thoughts also. And you will not keep thinking bad things about others. Even if others are jealous of you or bad to you, you will not be the same. You will try to do your best effort. It is superhuman to do all these things perfectly, what I'm telling you, but we try to improve. If supposing before the lockdown, you were at a particular level of emotional intelligence, after the lockdown, you can be at a superior level, higher level. Maybe this is a time for you to work on your own self and not go back to being what you were or go below. Try to go above what you were before. And that is only going to be possible by introspection, practice of calmness, not reacting to small little irritants, and by working hard on your mind control. The battle of life is fought in the mind, and the battle of life is won in the mind. Anybody who has achieved great things has conquered his own mind or her own mind. And therefore, work on your mind, and not negativity should not be a part of it. I have written a book called Finding Success Within. And Finding Success Within is my book on, it's available on Amazon and other places. And it is a book on 52 life skills for young people. And therefore, it has come out very recently. It is a new book. You can read it, you can see it, you can read about it. You can all be connected with me on LinkedIn and with Shoolini University also. We keep on posting a lot of beautiful activities which keep happening on LinkedIn and other Instagram and wherever. So be connected on social media after this and keep reading and writing. Over to you, Atul, for your inputs and another video. And last, I'll show a couple of slides.
Thank you, Vivek. What a lovely structure for EQ. One of the best I've ever heard.
Thank you so much.
One thing which I wanted to add, which I have always practiced, Vivek, and I think it's extremely, at least helpful for me on the EQ side, is showing weakness. And let me explain what that means. We've sort of grown up in a society where we're always told to be strong and show our strength. But I think sometimes showing weakness or your real emotions to your friends, your colleagues can be of great help, especially in times of stress like these. You always don't have to be a superwoman or superman. Sometimes you can show your emotions, and I think the bonding at that point of time just goes up tremendously, especially with team members. Might not work with students because they might not take it in the right spirit. So one, of course, is this small tip. The second thing is also about using humor in times of difficulty and stress. So great leaders will lighten the situation by bringing in humor. And I think that's something, again, that all of us can practice in a much more significant way, much better way. But I think with, despite all the gyan, I'd also like to mention, Vivek, over here, that teachers are actually doing a great job. All of you are really the true Corona warriors of India. You're making sure that the young population of the country is happy, motivated, inspired. You've made sure that not a single day of learning is lost. You're juggling your housework, your online lectures, you're keeping your children happy, you're keeping your parents happy. I think it's a tremendous job that you guys are doing as teachers, that we are doing as teachers. And I think we all should be very, very proud. Young Indians are the future of the country. Young human beings are the future of the world. And I think you are keeping these young people excited, motivated, and on track. So congratulations and good luck to all of you. Now, this is also, I think, the passion that I live. So I left my corporate work, and so did Vivek, to try to give back to young India. And that's really the story behind Shoolini. How can we make young India successful? So I'm going to show a small video over here, and then Vivek has got a few very interesting pictures to show. And we'll then get into Q&A. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions we have. I think there's one question already, but please ask your questions. So over to this video. Vivek, if you allow me.
Sure, please go ahead.
Throughout history, the young have always been the ones to shape the future. country's biggest asset, our best bet to conquer the future. So what are you waiting for? Your time to dream is now. Dream of the research that can change the world. Dream of a high-flying corporate career. Dream of higher studies in the world's best universities. Dream of developing cutting-edge technology of the future. Dream of your own global startup. At Shoolini University, we empower you and enable you to chase your dreams and change the world. Think learning, think success.
I think all of you would resonate with young Indians and the young world. I think we're all in the business. We're all in the profession of making these young Indians successful. So I continue to get goose pimples when I speak to my students, Vivek. Over to you. I think you've got some bunch of stuff to show.
Yeah, I've got a few slides to show everyone, and let me see if I can do this. Yes. So I'll just show you a few slides from this presentation on emotional intelligence, and I'm just going to make it full screen. So can you see this, Atul?
Yes.
Okay. So if we are all considering ourselves to be leaders, and teachers are, I believe, leaders, and also the principal and all the staff. So positive thinking, I mentioned, vital for emotional intelligence in your body, mind, and soul. Empathy and understanding, I'll just add a little few points. When you see a student from another background and you meet some parent from another background which is not similar to yours, they may be a little poor, they may be a little uneducated, the parents. So you have to have empathy and understanding for these people. You have seen how the migrants have suffered in the lockdown, how much they have suffered. We have to connect our minds and hearts with these people. And the poorer the people, the more the empathy and understanding they need. The parents are trying to educate their children, even though they were not educated. And even if they are of a lower middle class or wherever they are from, we need to have empathy. Or there may be some problem at home. You know, the father and mother are not getting on, or one of the parents is not well, and the child comes to school. We have to have empathy for the child. So find out about the child, why the child is not talking much, is very, very shy, is quiet, is sad looking. Try and understand the children. Very important. A degree in people means that we understand people. We understand people, that what to say in front of whom, what not to say in front of whom. So people understanding is very important. You may not have a formal degree in psychology or something, but you may have the understanding of people. Seeing the bigger picture is also important. You have to basically understand that life is not a small journey. These 2 months of lockdown doesn't mean everything is locked down. It is a huge journey of 80, 90 years, whatever it is, and lots of things will happen. So keep the bigger picture in mind at all times. Balance, as I said, walking the thin line between being firm and being pleasant, not losing cool, not losing control. Calmness, it is something to work hard on your calmness, introspection, and then calmness can be practiced. Why am I in a big state of worry at 11 o'clock every day, 1 o'clock every day, or 5 o'clock every day? What is the reason? Because of all the pressures. So how can I become calmer? And leading by example means you are the teacher, the students are watching you, the children, your own children are watching you. So be a good example. We'll just take a couple of examples. This is Mr. Narayan Murthy, founder of Infosys. Very, very creative and positive person. And even today, he has been writing lovely articles on the economy, on what government of India should do. And only because of him, Infosys went from 4 people to 4 lakh people today, or 3 point something lakh people. Amazing positive thinking. Mr. J.R.D. Tata, another sign of industry and excellence and honesty, integrity. And you know how the Tatas were built by him. And he was a great pilot as well. He had a lot of empathy and understanding for each person in the company and outside. This is Mike Brierley, former England captain. He used to have a lot of understanding of his team. I'll just show you another couple of slides. So this is about calmness. And calmness means the need to be actively calm. Now, Paramahansa Yogananda said, be calmly active and actively calm. I often use this quote, and he clearly said, you have to work on your calmness. Actively calm means I cannot take it lightly. I will actively work on becoming a better, calmer individual. And instead of reacting to situations, their corporate lingo is we respond to situations, which means a situation has arisen. You won't even immediately react by saying something or shouting back or whatever it is. You will calm yourself down, think about your response, then respond in a very calm, cool, casual, or rather well-considered manner. On Monday morning or any other urgent time, you are stressed out. Try and see your mind. Is it so much stressed out that it cannot be working properly? Try and control your feelings and emotions at that time. Prepare for Monday mornings. And driving to work or wherever you're going, whenever you're going to work, don't be tense. End of the day, beginning of the day. And then this last question will really make you feel that sometimes I lose my cool and my temper on things which don't really matter. And I worry over things which don't really matter. So let's not make them so important. I'm just going to show you one picture here. And this is Mr. Barack Obama. And no words are needed. When you see somebody like this, you are inspired, so happy, so calm, so cheerful. He was the president of America at this time when this picture was taken. You and I don't have so much responsibility as he had. Not so many burdens, not so much of, whatever importance we feel that we have. We don't have so much as he had. So if he can be like this and cheerful and calm, then we can also be like that. So let us try to be more calm and more collected and more cool instead of being, this all the time. One sec, now I have to stop sharing. And here I am. Yeah. Okay. So I think these were my closing thoughts. We can go to Q&A. And Atul, any thoughts, please?
Absolutely wonderful. We'll request all the teachers to please ask questions to Vivek. This is your moment to ask the questions, so please don't hesitate.
Thank you for all the good morning messages, teachers. There are lots of good morning and thank you messages. I won't name all the teachers. They're all there. I see 100 good morning messages, maybe 50. Okay, can I see questions?
I don't really have any questions as yet, Vivek, till questions start pouring in. I have a couple of thoughts in my mind. One is, apart from meditation, which you do, I do know that you are an extremely, as a person, you have very strong EQ. I feel you do. So how have you built it over the years? Were you born with great EQ, or you do stuff beyond meditation that gives you great EQ?
Thank you, Atul. I think one becomes, one changes. And I used to be, I never was a very angry kind of person, but I used to flare up at times in my office, at my home. And being a Scorpio by birth, maybe that has to do with the sun sign, I don't know. So it used to be a very spike kind of anger. These days, spike is the terminology everyone reads. So the anger used to spike and come back. And it used to last only about 5 minutes. It would not last beyond that. But I worked on it, I think, and I tried to control my tempers. It wasn't very bad, but it was there. And now it's much less. And only very, very, very rarely do I lose my cool now. So I think it's something to do with the hard work on yourself. Meditation is the supreme reason, but also analysis of your own behavior and conduct. Introspection has helped me. And I have realized that there's no point. And it's better to get things done better in. I think one thing that has worked for me, Atul, is to see the overall context of life and how, what is the real meaning of life and what really matters in life, as I had in my slide. That helps me to realize that aisi waisi baaton mein, let's not lose our cool and remain positive at all times. That's important.
I know you do a lot of speaking nowadays. Probably you're spending 3 to 4 hours on webinars every day speaking, Vivek.
Yeah.
And we together are speaking again in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Tell us, what does a typical day look like nowadays for you? how's it? And how to maintain your cool?
Yeah, actually, you're right. It is lovely to, like in the morning, I get up and meditate. If I have time for a walk, I have a walk at that time.
How early is that, Vivek? How early do you get up?
I don't get up very early. I get up hopefully before 8 and meditate.
Okay, that's good.
And I will, if I have to go somewhere like normal times when I'm traveling here and there, then obviously I get up earlier and meditate by 7 or 6. And nowadays it's a little easier. But meditation is a part of my morning. And then getting into webinars normally. Otherwise, if I have work and writing or making some, like I'm translating my, somebody has already translated my book into Hindi. So I work on the text of Finding Success within in Hindi. I make some editorial changes, some other research work if I have to do, I do that. And then I get into after webinars or between webinars, time with the family and try to watch some comedies or something. And definitely if the walk is not there in the morning, then evening and night. So I have 2 fitness times also. Yeah.
So I think we're not getting any questions. So we'll probably, I think we also have to close. We're coming to an end, Vivek. But I'm very tempted to do a quick rapid fire on you before we sort of start, which I always love teasing you. So take 2 minutes if you allow me.
Please go ahead.
So I tell me your favorite, travel. Where would you like your dream travel place?
I think I want to go to Hawaii, and I've never been to Hawaii. I've been hearing about it forever. And there was a show in my childhood, which you may have heard. I don't know. I'm a little older than you. And we used to live in England, and there was a show called Hawaii Five-0. And this Hawaii Five-0 was the police unit of Hawaii. And it was a very dazzling show. I used to love that. And never been there. But India also, there are so many places. I've not been to the Northeast much. I've been to Assam, but I haven't been to the northeastern states. I would love to go to all of them.
Wow, your favorite color?
Red is my favorite color, despite
fire, Vivek. That's anger, right? Come on.
red is a color of power and energy.
Last thought for the audience.
The last thought is that life is short, and life is for being. Basically, the goal of life is happiness. And happiness within and happiness for others. So if you leave a mark in life and leave happiness for others and make others happy by your presence, that is the goal of life. It doesn't change. So please endeavor for that.
Fantastic. I think we've come to an end. Thank you, Vivek, for this wonderful talk. I'll request Vinita ma'am to possibly come if she's there. If she could unmute and play her video on. Vinita ma'am, if you're there, we'd love to invite you over.
I think I saw her a little while.
Yeah, I did probably.
Lots of thank you messages. Thank you for all the thank you messages. Very nice to see so many messages of thanks. Atul and I both have enjoyed this seminar, webinar.
So,
hello, sir. I take over. I think ma'am is not able to connect.
Yes.
I think ma'am is not able to connect, ma'am. On the behalf of Dayal Singh Public Schools, here, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to both the speakers. Sir, it's been really nice listening to you both. I am sure that today we are taking away so much on EQ. And thank you, sir, especially Mr. Atul Khosla, to call us Corona Warriors, the hidden Corona Warriors. And I'm sure that it's going to make us more enthusiastic about our work. And emotional intelligence, we learned a lot. We learned the importance of working on actually calm. And I'm sure everybody will bring a shift in one's own life and in the nation to a whole. Thank you so much. And yes, one more thanks goes to Shikha ma'am also, because her that we are able to connect today on this webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepthi ma'am. Thank you, teachers. I think it was an honor to address and speak to all of you. We so wish this was in person rather than over the webinar. So I think as things open up, we'd love to come by. We know we've got a home now in Karnal. As we pass through to Delhi, we'll drop by or we'll do a seminar with your students and teachers. And of course, I think we'll also love to invite you over to Shoolini. We've got a beautiful campus, and you'd love to get your students and the teachers here. I think with that, I'd also love to thank Vivek, as always, extremely thankful and
Thank you, Atul. It's been a pleasure.
and once again, wish you all a great day. Be safe, and let's all pray that Corona gets over very soon.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you. Stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.